Hey there, welcome back to Turntable Guy. On the bench today we have Monster, and we have one of those monsters that not very many people know about. This is a Toshiba quartz lock turntable. It's model SR-630, and it is a heavy, heavy beast. When I went to lift this, actually when the guy dropped it off, he's like, it's pretty heavy. I'm like, really? A Toshiba that heavy? I kind of know about it, but I've never actually worked on one of these. And I'm telling you right now, this thing is made out of concrete. It is so heavy. Undoubtedly, it must be the flagship model that they made back in the day. Now, the question is, did Toshiba actually manufacture this? I don't know. Does it look like a CEC? I'm going to say not really. Looks this queuing here is kind of reminiscent of the Kenwood Rock series, where you start the turntable spinning with one of these. But yeah, this thing is an absolute beast. Heavy, heavy, fully automatic, I think. Let's see here. I'm not sure if it's fully automatic or if it's a semi-automatic. I guess we're going to find out. I'm thinking it might be oh, what's this? Oh, look at this. I don't know if you can see that through the dust cover, but this was the queuing arm lift rubber pad, and it has crumbled and died. Huh. So we're going to have to manufacture something. I think I've done that before on a Toshiba. I've actually had to manufacture a little replacement here. I usually do it out of felt. Just something that's, it's got enough friction for it to keep the arm steady when you use the queuing, but it's also going to allow the arm to slide back when it's auto returning. So yeah, felt works for that, just sticky felt. And then I just cut it around to fit. There is a little bit of oxidation on this tone arm here on the aluminum oxide. Let's get rid of this disgusting mess first. And let's just plug it in and see if we're spinning. The hinges on the dust cover kind of scream CEC, but like I said, I'm not 100% sure if Toshiba manufactured their own tables or not. If you know, leave me a comment down in the comments section. Oh, what's that awful noise? Oh, that's just me pressing down on it. Yeah, it's okay. Okay, we're just going to plug it in here. Let's see what it does. Power is a power button. And start. Okay. Speed select 33. 45. Did that actually do anything? Yeah, it is. And we've got a pitch control as well. Let's see if the strobe's working. Strobe's pretty dim. So if it's quartz lock, why would it have a pitch control? Okay. Speed control quartz lock pull off. Ah, okay. So it's kind of like the Pioneer PL560, where you can disengage the quartz lock. And oh, that pitch control is not pretty. It's probably never been used. I mean, if you have quartz lock, why would you bother, with pitch or non-quartz lock? So you push it down for quartz lock. 3345. So it's definitely not a fully manual or fully automatic, because it's not moving to the start of the record. This is very tight. Okay. Queuing up. Queuing's good. Okay, that's good. And that's surprising because it's missing the rubber over there. I'm not doing a sound test yet. This is very low because it is missing that rubber. I'm just going to move it over and see if the auto return's working. Doesn't look like it is, or maybe it doesn't have auto return. I don't know. I don't know anything about this thing. Maybe it's fully manual. Start, stop, that's it. So I think it's fully manual. This seems a little loose. Oh, okay, this turntable has VTA adjustment, so you can lift the height of the arm. I think these screws are loose. So if we loosen that, and we loosen this, look at that, eh? And you can also change the height of the cueing based on the height of the VTA. This is a very nice turntable. Good heavens. So once we tighten these up, I think it'll be fine. All right, so I have a feeling there's probably not a whole hell of a lot to do on this other than maybe lubricate the motor. Does that feel kind of tight? Does feel a little tight, or maybe it's because the power is on. So if I turn the power on, yeah, when you got the power on, it must be under a magnetic force, because once watch when I turn the power on, it kind of stops. So it looks like the motor's energized, but just not spinning, because now it's nice and loose. All right, let's get the base off of this thing. I'll get it turned upside down, and I'll be back with you once that's done. Before I flip it over, I just wanted you to see this. Magnetically shielded, acoustically damped turntable. Toshiba quartz lock. And even with the platter off, it still weighs a ton. Anyway, I'll get it flipped over. One sec. All right, here we go. Holy crap. Wow, wow, wow. Look at this thing. Holy moly. Sorry, I dropped my camera on my head there. Yeah, I was saying, yeah, I think the Pioneer, was it the PL570, is one of the most overbuilt turntables I've ever worked on. This is a damn close second here. Look at the shielding going on here. So your RCA cables come in. There's a connection board here, which is enclosed in metal shielding, and then the cables run out. Your speed controls and stuff over here. Honking motor. We have a solenoid switch there. We got our motor control board here. Controls for the front. The transformer is on rubber mounts, so when the turntable's right side up, transformer sinks down as to not make any vibration. That's incredible. Power supply. Got a big honking 3300 microfarad at 35 volt cap over here, mounted kind of flat. That's interesting. Obviously it's very tall, so it wouldn't fit. Just what a beast. Absolute beast. I have to have a look under here. I want to see what's going on under here. Curiosity killed the cat. Well, I gotta see this. What are they hiding under here? Excuse my head. Holy crap. got to be the quartz lock speed control. Crystal over here. Look at all these tantalum capacitors. I'm just having a peek here to make sure I don't see any leaking electrolyte anywhere. I don't see anything leaking. Reseating electrical connectors is never a bad idea. It just creates a fresh connection. You can hit them with deoxit if you want. And we're just going to cover that right back up. Could you do a recap on this? Yes, you could very well do that. I would recommend testing all the capacitors first. Yeah, this is a very interesting turntable. I have never seen this one before. And people talk about the monster receivers back in the day, like, you know, Pioneer, well, they were the SX 1280 and all those. But, you know, you don't hear talk about monster turntables. I would say this is one of them. Okay. Oh, so heavy. How is this motor mounted? I'm going to say the serviceability of this turntable is not all that great. There's a lot of stuff to take apart. I am going to download the service manual. I want to see how this motor is removed, because there's 3 nuts here, but there's also the solenoid, which I'm not sure exactly what this does. It could just be the on-off. So I'm going to download that before I start poking my fingers in where they don't belong. I shall return. Unfortunately, there's no service manual for this thing. So I removed a screw here on this solenoid. I am going to just remove these nuts that hold the motor down, and we'll get a look at if we can get at lubing this motor. I didn't Google if there's a service manual, but there's nothing on vinyl engine. And if it's not on vinyl engine, it's usually nowhere. You can also look at models like below and above. They're usually pretty similar. I haven't done that. Okay. I'm going to remove this plug. Looks like it's on the way. And we'll just lift up the solenoid out of the way. And then we'll tug up on the motor here. Nothing else holding it down. Yeah. It's glued right here. I'm just going to gently put a little pressure with a screwdriver here, just to see if maybe it's not a glue, if it's... Good heavens, it's glued. Maybe these 3 screws. Hang on, maybe that part's glued down. It looks like it's a sandwich here. I'm going to be really careful. Take this ground off. No. Well, that is really unfortunate. See a little bit of movement, but like I said, I do not want to put any kind of torque. Without first knowing what I'm getting at here. Yeah, it's glued. I've never seen anything like this before. It looks like there's rubber sandwiched between the 2 layers. There's 2 layers of this cover here. There's an inside and an outside, and it looks like rubber is sandwiched between them. The build quality of this turntable is absolutely incredible, but I cannot service this motor. The way I see it, we tried, and if Toshiba or whoever made this thing doesn't want people going into their motor, then that's it. We're going to have to hope that whatever lubrication they used back in the day is sufficient, because I'm not going to pry at this thing and rip it apart, damage the particle board and whatever else to get some oil into that motor. It is spinning, it is quartz locking. It's frustrating and annoying, but it is what it is. Sorry, guys. Sorry, owner. Your motor's not going to get serviced. Everything is on rubber mounts. So when they said, when I showed you the top of that, of the plinth where it said acoustically or vibration sealed or whatever the hell it was, boy is it ever. So now you guys know, if you come across a Toshiba SR-630, you might want to grab one of these. Yeah, you might not be able to service the motor, but my guess is if this thing's as a good quality as I'm seeing, maybe it does have some kind of lifetime lubricant in there. Who knows, right? You know, something you can do if you do pick one of these up, you can change out the caps. Although they are good quality. These are all Rubicons here. And I forget what those were. Were they Elnas? They were gray. Elnas usually gray. So they're all high quality caps. But, you know, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like 9, 10, what, maybe 20 capacitors that you can change out if you really wanted to. Well, you know that motor's not moving. Anyway, all we're going to do here is we're going to hit these controls over here with a little bit of contact cleaner. And that should take care of, you know, maintenance. And even they were working perfectly fine. This is a double switch here, so it's going to have the pull up and down on the bottom part where you engage and disengage the quartz. And then you've got the standard potentiometer on the bottom that controls the speed. So if you can lift this thing, you just want to pull that in and out, and then back and rotate it to distribute the cleaner up and down, up and down. So it's a dual action you're doing here, up and down, and rotate. And the other switch is just your speed switch, and there's no serviceable holes on that. Wow. That's probably the least amount of work I've ever done on a table. Kind of disappointing. I was kind of hoping to get some oil into this motor, but and I didn't even see any access from above because there's a huge... Oh. There are some very large screws here. And I believe these hold the metallic plinth. I'm just wondering if that is how you get the motor out. Here, you'd have to, okay, well, you'd have to remove all these, 2, 3, no, maybe not that one. Not that one. This one. Probably not these. And then drop, although the arm is mounted to that. Yeah, the arm's mounted there. I'm not doing it. I am not going to risk doing it. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's got to be something holding it over here too. There's this large aluminum plate that acts as a plinth up top. I'm sure that would drop, and then you can pull this, maybe pull the spindle out of the motor from up top. My worry is the tone arm is attached up top as well. Yeah, it totally is. And I'm not risking that. Anyway, I'm going to put the base back on. Actually, let me tie these wires back up. I'll get those tied up off camera. And we'll go back up top, and we'll see about fixing that arm lift, that rubber piece that's missing. Okay, we're back up top. This is what I meant about this plate here. It's not connected to the base. It's obviously held in by those 5 screws there, and you can see the motor here. It probably pulls out, I would think, unless... Now, just by feel, it feels okay. So, you know, that's going to have to be... We're going to have to trust that what's ever in there is doing its job. This table's very dirty. I am going to clean it when I get done servicing it, because it deserves a cleaning. It's such a nice unit. Okay, so we're gonna work on this, and we're gonna clean it first, because there's a lot of aluminum oxide on there. And I'm just gonna hit it with a little bit of a Windex and a toothbrush, just to remove some of this crap that's on here, because we're gonna replace the rubber that was on here. I just want to get rid of the oxide. So dirty. Oh, it comes out. Oh, excellent. Here I am cleaning all this. Anyway, we'll just dry all that up. Could be such a beautiful turntable. So here's our piece. And I'm going to make sure that this is good and clean with some alcohol. There's corrosion on here as well. Now, how thick does it need to be? Well, try to make it as thick as this was, right? So, yeah, we'll use a furniture pad. That usually works pretty well. Get that clean with alcohol so we got good adhesion. A little bit of corrosion on here. Yeah, that'll do. Be right back. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about. Something like this. It's got a little bit of felt on the top and sticky double-side tape on the bottom. And what you want to do is just, that should work out really well because it's kind of curved, like, well, not perfectly, but so we're going to stick that on there like that. And then get a pair of scissors and we'll cut this to match, so to speak. Let me just cut this first. Save that. So we're just going to trace around the back side like this. Very sticky stuff. Good heavens, really sticky. I was never really good at arts and crafts. Horrible artist. I have problems drawing stick people. You can shape it with a razor blade from the top side once you got the basic shape cut out. It's kind of hard to do the inside curve. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to keep messing with this. I'm going to get a razor blade and follow that inside curve. But you're getting the idea here. So we replaced that, and it should slide well on this material. So I'll just keep working at this, get it to a nice shape, and I'll be right back. Okay, that's the best I could do. I think that's pretty good. And that goes back in like that. More difficult to get back in when the arm's in the way. There we go. Okay, so queuing up and down. If you lock it, there we go. Well, the dog's up. Okay. Let's get a look at the stylus. We have an Empire 4000 XL on this thing. It's considered a pretty high-end cartridge back in the day. And we're going to give that stylus a cleaning. I'm going to use just some alcohol in that. I know people complain that the alcohol could remove the glue on the stylus, but the stylus is of unknown origin. And when you get something dirty like that, I like to recondition it with a little bit of alcohol. This is 70%, so it's not 100% alcohol. It's got probably water. It's 30%. Oh, and this stylus is dead. There you go. So it is dead. It's cracked right at the base. You can see there, kind of. So this needs a cartridge. So no sound test for us, at least not with this. We'll test it with this. And we'll get the height set up. And then I will give it a beautiful cleaning, because a turntable like this should really be clean. I mean, just have a look at what comes off this thing. Mmm, yummy. So I'll give it a nice cleaning, but I think everybody wants to hear, does it work? What's it sound like? So we're going to do that. Let me set it up and I'll be right back. Okay, I've done a real basic setup on this arm. Set it for 2 grams. This is a pretty light head shell. I think the head shell that came with it is quite a bit heavier, so the counterweight is very forward. Set a rain skate for 2. And I've adjusted the height of the arm. Like I said, there's just 2 finger screws that you just tighten with your finger and loosen with your finger. And I've tightened those. And let me do the back. I didn't do the back one though. Let me just do that. There. Now there's no more jiggle in the arm. It's nice and tight, so that's good. So that's set up for 2 grams. Our cueing is working, so check this out. There we go. Adjusted the height of the cueing where I like it. That's right on the money. Our lifter is pretty nice. Throw a record on here real quick. Got sound. Oops, sorry. Power. Start. Queuing up. Queuing down. It's dead silent. Quartz lock is right on the money. And that's it. Like I mentioned, this is not auto return. So what's going to happen when you reach the end of a record, it's going to sit there. It's fully manual. So you're going to have to get off your butt, get up there and cue your record, and get it back to its home rest. And that's it. There's 45. It's working. Just give you an idea. Quartz lock on 45. Quartz lock on 33. It's not as instantaneous as the 1200 getting back and forth some speed, but who really cares? And then stop. That's it. That's all I can do for this one. But I really thought that we would be able to get at that motor, but unfortunately we couldn't. And I'm not going to sweat it because I'm not risking taking it apart to damage anything. There was just too much to get at it. And just hope and pray that the lubrication they used back in the factory 50 years ago is still okay. It's not satisfying end, but it is an end. So that's a Toshiba SR-630. Yeah, I'm going to put this in my top 5 turntables that I've ever worked on as far as build quality is concerned. Now, obviously, sound quality is another issue. You're going to have to hook this up to a nice system, put a really high-end cartridge on it to see how it performs. But I have a feeling that it's going to perform amazingly considering what the guts were like underneath. And that's what it's all about. This thing is overbuilt like a tank. I know that's a cliche. You hear people say it a lot, but this one is. It is a tank. If you find one of these, snatch it up before anyone else does, because this one is definitely worth getting. Okay, guys, that's the SR-630, and we'll catch you next one. Bye.